said I know I'll have my critics, but I'ma step up and admit it. I wanna be rich, oh, I wanna be rich. I wanna move on up, see just how sweet it is.
Hey friends, welcome to At the Table. I am Ray, my partner in crime behind the camera is Jay Helms. Many of you Front Street United Methodist Church people know him. And my other partner in crime, Stefan, pastor of discipleship at Front Street United Methodist Church, is at a conference. So you just have me. So it's great to have you. We're still in this series on generosity, pathways to generosity. And I know what you're thinking. I'm really sick of generosity. Well, you may be, but here's the problem. Most of us still haven't gotten there. We don't get it. We're so tired of it. We think we know it all. We think, yeah, I know it's about giving. It really isn't about the amount you give. It's not about how you give. It's really not to what you give. It is a mindset. It is a heart set. It is something that no matter what I say, I can't get into my heart and my life, nor yours, deep enough and strong enough. And if you're sick of it, it probably means I didn't do a very good job. And I get that. But this topic is so huge, so big, so life-altering, I can't put it in words. And I'm just beginning to learn it. But I'm down the road enough to know that it is foundationally altering for your life. And that's the reason it's so important to me. It's not about sacrifice, but it's what it will do for you, and most importantly, what it'll do for others. If we can ever get this in our head, this whole act, it's a way of being that I simply can't pour it out enough. And so you will hear about this as long as I'm living and have breath to breathe. I'm going to be teaching, preaching, encouraging generosity.
Okay, I'm interjecting for just a minute. He doesn't know that I'm filming this, but I had to stop and say it. We just got done with lunch. Ray never lets me pay for lunch. It's become such a regular thing that when we go out with other people, like my mother-in-law who was here today, she looks over at me and she sees Ray paying for the bill and she's making that face like, I wanted to pay for something. And I have to look at her and say, he's not gonna let you. This is just what Ray does. I'm interjecting this not just to boast about Ray and to say thank you in a small way. I also am saying when we're talking about generosity, and very much so when Ray's talking about generosity, he's talking about it from a place of experience, a place of being generous to others and seeing and experiencing and being a part of that great joy, the absolute great joy. This isn't just a regular spiel that comes around in the fall. This is a regular activity of generosity, of giving towards others, of loving others in a tangible, even just at lunch, but it extends more than that. And so here I am with my leftovers outside and just giving you a little bit of leftover thought as we continue this conversation about generosity, because it's not just for the fall, it's for all of life. All right, I'm sending you back to Ray, but I do want you to know I am totally on board with this, and I'm looking forward to the ways in which I get to be a part of the generous giving towards others in more ways than one. Okay, back to Ray.
And I want you to understand, I'm not trying to maneuver you. I'm not trying to manipulate you, nor are we at Front Street. As I've told you, truly, God doesn't need our money. So why is it so important to Jesus and so important to scriptures? It's because it is revolutionary in your life and my life. That's the reason. It benefits us. And so what I want you to hear, it is the most fruitful discipleship characteristics you and I can ever possibly attempt to develop. Now we're sitting today in one of the largest places to spend money in the Triangle. We're sitting at South Point Mall, where people stroll around and walk. Some dream, some spend money, some spend more money than they should have. Others go through here and wish we could afford some of the things we see. And it's all about, usually about what I want to do, and maybe a gift or two to buy for others. But what we really are talking about is a way of thinking. We literally needs our minds changed, drenched is what we were talking about earlier, drenched in this idea of generosity. almost so we can't escape it every moment of our lives. And so there is a point of scripture, and Jesus telling this parable about there's good soil, there's rocky soil, there's pathway soil, and when seeds are just thrown out, just helter-skelter, just everywhere, that some of the seed lands on rocky soil, some of it will land in a pathway, but some of it will land on the good soil. Well, what our goal is that we become good, fertile soil. Jesus never said any of the soil was bad. Something will spring up in all of those. But everlasting, life-changing, good soil will reap 10, 20, 30 times than what the other soil lands on. And you and I are those soil places. Now, some of you have probably heard about a guy named David Letterman. He had a late night talk show for years, a comedian. If you've never heard of him, think about your favorite, most successful comedian. But David Letterman went to the heart of Dublin.
There's only lift it up a little. There is no land. There is no land. There's only us. There's only us. There is no land. There is no land. There's only us.
And there is a small venue, concert venue there. And he knows a friend named Bono and The Edge, which is, they're known as U2, one of the most famous rock bands ever. And so somehow one of these characters, my guess is Bono. Bono is a dedicated disciple of Jesus. And they decide they're going to have a concert. He and David Letterman and U2. And David is going to walk around Dublin, Ireland, giving away tickets. And here is the ticket. Are you ready? The ticket is, David goes up to people walking around Dublin and he says, hey, you know, U2's having a concert. You want to go see Bono? Well, yeah, I'd love to see it. Nobody knows this concert's going on. There's no publicity board. He said, I tell you what, you go to the site, you go to the gate, and you tell them, Dave said I could come. That's the ticket. Dave said I can come. Here's the deal. They were serious. And if you took the chance and you went to the venue and you said, hey, you have your ticket? And you say, Dave said I can come. That's your ticket in. But it took somebody a different way of thinking. How in the world did Bono and David ever think that way? You see, if you're not a generous person, you're never going to think that way because it's not coming across in your head. But there's something in your heart and your mind and your soul and the way of thinking that is generous. You're looking for ways that are unexpected, that you're not going to get a return for, that is just out of the goodness, out of the creativity of your life and mind. That's what we're talking about. How in the world do I change my mind in my life so I can think like that, so I can be like that? So question for you, which person would you rather be? One who could think like that or one who never could? You see, because there is a radical edge to this that is totally irresponsible because I can't control it. I don't know what the outcome's going to be. I don't know if it's going to be profitable or beneficial, but we're just going to do it. We're just going to do it. That's the risk we have in faith, in trusting God. Lord, you know, you kind of put this in my heart and life, and I'm just going to act on it. Don't know what's going to come of it, but I want to think like you think. One last thing. Let's just say you're one of the top clarinetists in the entire world, that you have played for 4 presidents of the United States on their invitation. You could be playing anywhere in the world, or you choose whatever instrument you want, but for today's talk, you're one of the top clarinetists in the world. You can play with any symphony, before anybody, anywhere in the world, at any time you want to go. There are going to be people there paying your way, making sure you get paid to play your clarinet. Where would you choose this afternoon to be? or this morning at 11 o'clock, from 11 o'clock to 2 o'clock, where would you choose to be? Maybe London. Maybe I'm going to spend the afternoon. I'm going to call the London Symphony and tell them I'm going to be in town. How can they use me? Or Paris, or anywhere, Dubai, or maybe Disney World, wherever your dream is, that you could go there. Somebody, an agent makes a call and you're there just because of your name and who you are and your known ability. There's a woman named Doreen Ketchen who has that capability. Again, she's played for 4 presidents at their invitation. She can play anywhere in the world she wants. What is so beautiful about what you're about to see, is Doreen, she is making a choice. And her choice is to be where she is because she could be anywhere she wanted. Our friend Jay was in New Orleans, and this world-class clarinetist chooses to do this multiple times a week for folks who may not get another chance to hear somebody like her. An amazing person once said, "Give and it will be given to you. A good measure, pressed down, shaken together, running over, will be put into your lap. For the measure you give would be the measure you get back."
In the streets of the city, we don't walk out and I go on the hall. I'll be outside by the side of the river, singing glory and praise God. Will we go on through the streets of the city? We're the ones I go on before. I'll be all side by side of the river, we'll walk and walk and go. Without your love, oh free, go out, lead me through this whole life. Said I am weak, I put out all my teeth. Only with your arms, oh my. I'll be all stand by the bank of the river.